Hello.
I'm here with Skyy Banks, author and social advocate and mom and just a little bit of everything. But I'm here to speak with her today in regards to See Body Love Self and to talk to her a little bit about how she's empowering women when it comes to their body. She's doing it in so many different ways, and I can't wait to hear her story. Hi, Skyy. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
First of all, I just want you to tell us a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself for people who may not know about you and what you do.
I am Skyy Banks, author, HIV activist, mom, health communicator. I wear lots and lots of hats, hailing from Arkansas. I currently reside as the board chair for Moniece Incorporated, which is an HIV/AIDS nonprofit whose mission is to stop the spread of intergenerational HIV. So that's from mom to daughter, that kind of thing. I also serve as Red Pump Project Ambassador for Atlanta, again, working in HIV/AIDS prevention.
So tell us, you started out with introducing yourself as an author. So that must be one of your priority hats that you wear. Tell us a little bit about being an author.
I guess being an author for me has been quite the journey. I started writing a long time ago. I remember in high school having all my papers published on the publishing line and, you know, being really good at it, but never really took it serious as a career choice or, you know, something I wanted to do to make money. And then once I started teaching, I started just kind of dabbling in writing, and I was like, okay, I'm pretty good at this thing. And so I started taking it seriously a few years ago, and I published 2 books under my surname, not Skyy Banks. Once I left teaching, I decided to kind of start writing about taboo subjects, something to spark some real dialogue, some real discussion, moving forward to solutions. And that's when I published my first debut novel, Soul on Fire, in the process of finishing up my second. But I have found that it's really a way to start discussion around a lot of social issues that affect us all.
So with your, and I don't want to give away the book for people who haven't read Soul on Fire, but would you say that Soul on Fire addresses women's body issues or their sexual health issues?
Absolutely. Soul on Fire touches on both body issues as it relates to owning your sexual health and the decisions you make with your body. And then we also look at some self-esteem issues, which in turn cause us to use our body in negative ways. So I think it touches on a lot of things that women can relate to. They're just a struggle of being a woman.
Now, what has been your reaction that you've gotten from women that have read the book so far? Is it touching them? Is it changing them? Are you getting any feedback from women?
Actually, what I find is that Soul on Fire has been very empowering for women. There's a little of Dana, who's the main character in the book, and all of us in some way, shape, or form. And what I'm finding is, reading the book, women have been able to kind of free themselves, let go of some of the baggage that they've had, and some not even realizing that, you know, that they've had baggage. And, you know, it's been a lot of thank yous, you know, that's my story, thank you for telling it. You know, even to the point of I had someone say, now I can heal. That's my story. You know, I kind of pushed it to the side and have been living life as, you know, without remembering what happened. But this book calls me to face my demons, and I'm moving forward. And just recently, I got a Facebook message saying that, which was very, very powerful.
Now, you're speaking of women basically owning their sexuality, taking responsibility for their sexuality and how they're sharing their bodies. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely, and that's what I do with a lot of my work, especially with Red Pump Project.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't talk about what we do in the bedroom. That's our secret. That's our business. But at the same time, while we might not talk about it, I want to ensure that women are making healthy choices about their body. You know, being able to condom negotiate, being able to say, no, that's not what I want to do, and not using their body as, so to speak, a weapon, or, you know, to get things that they want.
So how does Red Pump come into play when it comes to educating and empowering women when it comes to their sexual health choices?
Red Pump Women Love Shoes, I think that's a great conversation starter. But Red Pump is all about awareness. Awareness is always in style. That's the tagline. And what we want women to do is to be aware of the diseases and the risks and the consequences of having unprotected sex. Not only being aware of it, but also making those choices to prevent, you know, contracting HIV or any other STIs or unintended pregnancies.
And so that flows over as well, because it just seems like this is a thread that goes through your life and what you're doing in the community. But when it comes to a niece, that goes over into that work as well. Am I correct?
Absolutely. At least we work with various areas of the population, more so the underserved population, but just the community at large, to raise awareness, to make sure everyone knows their status, and to ensure that they're doing what they need to do to stay protected. So we do substance abuse counseling, mental health counseling, because a lot of it, if you think about it, stems from mental health. A lot of times when women aren't feeling well, low self-esteem, family issues, those kinds of things, sex, men seems to be the comforter. So we want to make sure that they're empowered to make the positive choices about their body.
Now, as a woman yourself, what has been some of your body evolution and how you have dealt with... Yes, I'm probing. What's been your body evolution? How have you, over time, learned to have a healthy relationship with your body? Are you still learning?
I'm absolutely still learning, and I guess the beauty is in the journey of this entire evolution, because I have a love-hate relationship with my body, to be honest. I remember one time you posted something about, okay, what do you absolutely love about your body, the scars, the marks, and I said, I don't love anything about my body. You know, childbirth really does something to your body. Not everybody, unless you're J-Lo or someone who's able to pop out some kids and not have any effects, and, you know, maybe have some money to fix it up. But, you know, there are always jokes made about women with stretch marks, women with dimples, women with marks. And, you know, that plays a lot to someone's self-esteem. I always kind of wonder when we as women say self-love and teach your daughters to self-love. I think at the end of the day, being human and being flawed, there's still a way to chip at that self-love. That, you know, I'm so powerful, I'm so beautiful. When you see what society's depiction of beauty is. Right. Beauty is a woman with long flowing hair. I mean, even with skin tone. You know, it's the fair-skinned women. It's the women that's free of scars, marks, you know, maybe tattoos, or what do they call them, tramp stamps. It's those kind of women who, you know, is the ideal picture of beauty, who's flawless. So when you're constantly facing that with the men around you, with men on TV, you know, the girls that you see in the video are all, you know, stout. That's what they say. Back home, you know, by any other means, they are just that voluptuous in the sense of curvaceous, not plump or anything like that. They're just thick in all the right places. So when you see that as the ideal picture of beauty, it's that you're measuring yourself against that, because the average man won't see you. Right. So I think in my reality, regardless of, you know, I know that I'm attractive, I feel sexy, but sometimes there's that self-doubt when I'm looking around me And these women who they're putting on a pedestal, they don't look like me. You know, they're not in the videos. They're not even on the regular commercials. They're not in the print ads and in the billboards. So you're kind of, you know, self-doubting yourself. And so even with being a mom, you know, I hear so many moms and even some women who desire to be mothers that can't be, you know, and I'm like, well, why am I complaining about stretch marks when you have women that desire and pray to have children that can't have children or experience something as beautiful as childbirth, and then to have the reminder be a stretch mark. So that kind of thing, still at my age, say, okay. So it's definitely been a journey, and I'm more accepting, you know, of my body and where I am, and knowing some things that I can change about it and some things I can't. And then I just have to wear it well.
So is there anything you would say is part of, is there a routine, is there a mantra, is there anything that you do that helps to build your self-esteem, that helps you to progress in that body journey?
Well, I think looking at myself, that's one thing that I don't own a full-length mirror. So looking at myself after I get dressed in the morning, seeing how my clothes fit me, that kind of thing, and just being careful to look at those things gives me a different perspective. Even sometimes when I get out the shower, standing in the mirror and just observing my body, I'm like, girl, you ain't that bad. You know, something to that effect. To just kind of be conscious of who I am and embrace that, and not, you know, worry about finding the next thing over the shelf to get rid of something. This is who I am. So that's a constant thing. And even when I'm thinking about it, it's like, no, I don't need that. And so that's just the thing. I'm fine just the way I am.
Now, since we're talking about body journey and sexuality, and embracing your sexuality is part of your give back to the community, do you see a connection between women and how they feel about their bodies and how their bodies look and the choices that they make in their sexual behavior?
Well, what I'm learning is it used to be a myth that plus-size girls would just be free and loose and have sex because, you know, somebody was paying attention to them. I'm finding that women of all shapes, sizes are highly sexual. You know, they're having sex. So I don't really see the correlation that people say, oh, okay, plus-size women have low self-esteem, so they are riskier in their behaviors. I'm not seeing that. You know, and the women I encounter from different backgrounds, you know, the sex is a common thing, and they're all doing it, they're all having it. And I don't think it has anything to do with what they look like on the outside. It's just something to feel a desire that they have.
Right.
But, and I don't see, you know, plus-size women being any riskier in their behavior than, you know, medium-build or small-frame women.
Right.
It's deeper than what we have on the outside, and that's what I try to get people to see. It's more than what's face value and what's on the outside. The issues that we have in the way we, you know, manifest those issues, it's something internal.
Right. Right. Yeah, I definitely truly believe that it's about loving your body, period. Whatever size or shape or height or age or skin tone, race you are, that when you truly begin to value yourself, then you make educated, informed decisions about what you're doing with your body. And if you devalue yourself, that crosses across, you know, everything that you're doing in your body, be it what you're eating, when it comes to fitness, what you're wearing, and ultimately even who you're sharing your body with and who you're engaging with when it comes to sexuality. As a mother, are there things that you share with your daughters or your children when it comes to sexuality, advice that you give to them?
That is so interesting. As a mom, I've always walked around naked in front of my children. You know, it's not been a thing to me to be ashamed of your body, which is interesting because sometimes as I'm going through this journey, I'm thinking about, okay, am I being a hypocrite? I'm free at home. I'm free in front of my children. But of course, my children accept me for who I am as their mom. And so how society views me is different from them. But I'm free with my body. Like I said, nudity is a, you know, it's not something to be ashamed of. Oh, let me cut up, let me put on a robe. You know, this is who I am. And with the same with them, we talk about, you know, eating healthy and why it's important to, you know, put good things in your body. You know, we don't do a lot of sodas or anything like that here, but it's also okay to be comfortable in the skin you are in. You know, my son, he's a big fellow. He's about 5'10", 290 pounds. He's a ball player. And that's the first thing people comment on is his size. You know, and being the bigger guy, bigger than his peers, you know, it's important for me to say, you know, as long as you're healthy, it's okay. And, you know, and to be accepting, because I never wanted him to be one who was bullied or, you know, called fat or sloppy or slob because of his size, because kids can be cool. So we just kind of have those, you know, frank discussions on being true to themselves and loving themselves. My daughter, she's darker skinned. And even with the whole accepting of who she is, you know, because she gets the, oh, you're pretty for a dark skinned girl. And I'm like, what the heck does that mean? I'm not that kind. When? Because I don't want her to have a, you know, a consciousness about her skin tone because she's a little darker than her mom, or people recognize that. You know, you're pretty for a dark skinned girl. What does that mean?
Right.
So, you know, at the end of the day, I show her images of beauty from Alec Wet, who is, you know, dark of the darkest, Grace Jones and Naomi Campbell, women that I find extremely beautiful.
Right.
You know, they're so beautiful, they make millions of dollars being pretty for a dark-skinned girl. So we have all of these kinds of talks that, you know, are beyond just the superficial, the face value. It's just about who you are. You know, mom accepts you for who you are, and I surround you with people who don't see your skin tone or your size or that kind of thing. They see you as a bright, bubbling young boy, and the same for my daughter. So, you know, we have those talks because society will hamper, and even being a peer, a student, your peers can hamper that with a negative talk when it's all about what you look like and what you're wearing.
Right, right. Now, you were part of the SBLS, the See Body Love Self photo shoot, and it was great to have you there. I definitely wanted you to be there and wanted you to be a part of this project because I love the work that you're doing with empowering women in their sexuality, and that's definitely part of loving our bodies. In that experience, was there anything that you gained from that experience, any enlightenment that you had from being a part of that?
That was an amazing, amazing experience, and I truly appreciate being part of that. I think the biggest takeaway for me was acceptance in the room. You know, there were women from all walks of life, different ethnicities, but it was acceptance, it was love, it was support. You know, there were so many, you look great, thank you, hugs, laughter, that genuine sisterhood. And the acceptance was the big thing that I took away from. You know, no matter what someone else said, oh, I don't like this, or I don't want to wear this, and there was, you know, you're okay. If you don't want to wear your hair down and want to keep it calm on itself, it's fine. So that acceptance from people that you don't even know, you know, some people that I've never met a day in my life, you know, before the shoot, but to find authentic women in a space sharing and accepting of each other.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think one of the things that made it, even for me, made it enjoyable and comfortable and even empowering was being in the room with other women who were so accepting and so has so much positive energy to give. Because I think if I had been in the room by myself, I might have been a little more nervous and, a little more uncomfortable, but it was just natural to just get up there, and it really felt like, having a party with your girlfriends that was just captured on camera.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, see, and I definitely believe that women getting together can always be empowering. I really appreciate you being a part of that. I appreciate you being here and sharing your insight and your perspective. What's coming next for Skyy Banks?
Skyy Banks is actually finishing up her next novel, and I'm in the process of writing a screenplay. So I'm stepping out of my comfort zone to do some things. I want to take my HIV advocacy work to the next level. You've inspired me. I think it's so much power in social media and ways to, get information out there, raise awareness in non-traditional ways, and with women that look like you and I, someone that we can touch. So I'm looking forward, to all that's to come and really empowering and impacting the world.
Well, thank you. I'm excited hearing what's coming from you. I'm like, oh, there's a screenplay coming. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to all of it. And we are just at not the beginning of the year. We're almost in the middle of the year. So we've got a little bit of time left. But I know that we're definitely women making progress. And there'll be great things to come. Thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great evening.
All right.
Ago, I remember in high school having all my papers published on the publishing line and, being really good at it, but never really took it serious as a career choice or, something I wanted to do to make money. And then once I started teaching, I started just kind of dabbling in writing, and I was like, okay, I'm pretty good at this thing. And so I started taking it seriously.
I'm here with Skyy Banks, author and social advocate and mom and just a little bit of everything. But I'm here to speak with her today in regards to See Body Love Self and to talk to her a little bit about how she's empowering women when it comes to their body.
Again, working in HIV/AIDS prevention.
So tell us, you started out with introducing yourself as an author. So that must be one of your priority hats that you wear. Tell us a little bit about being an author.
I guess being an author for me has been quite the journey. I started writing a long time.
She's doing it in so many different ways, and I can't wait to hear her story. Hi, Skyy. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
First of all, I just want you to tell us a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself for people who may not know about you and what you do.
I am Skyy Banks, author, HIV activist, mom, health communicator. I wear lots and lots of hats, hailing from Arkansas. I currently reside as the board chair for Moniece Incorporated, which is an HIV/AIDS nonprofit whose mission is to stop the spread of intergenerational HIV. So that's from mom to daughter, that kind of thing. I also serve as Red Pump Project Ambassador for Atlanta.